Hey there, this is Carrie with Soul Purpose Yoga and Wellness, my first yoga video, fourth try, because I love technology. As I tell my kids, you could call me Laura Ingalls and put me back on the prairie. The lighting is probably not great for this one, but I'm just gonna go with it and figure out something else next time around. So I have this very simple morning routine, and so we're not going to do a full practice, just something a little simple, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So we'll start sitting up nice and tall, head over heart, heart over pelvis. If you watch Yoga with Adrienne, I absolutely adore her. I got that from her, and I love that alignment because I always used to say axial extension of the spine, and then a lot of people don't know what I mean. So head over heart, heart over pelvis, and we're just going to soften through the shoulders. Have that chin parallel to the mat, or maybe just a very slight subtle tuck so that you feel that elongation through the back of the head and neck. Increase the space between the ears and the shoulders, and let that pelvic bowl be nice and heavy so everything from the navel down is grounded. And everything from the navel up is open, light, expansive. Palms can be facing down. In general, that's very grounding and warming. Palms up is a gesture of reception and a little bit more cooling to the body. My palms always gravitate down, so whatever feels comfortable for you. Softening the eyes behind the lids and just nice, easy breathing. Feeling that sits bones connected with the mat. Pretend like there's a string attached to your heart. I'm gently pulling it towards me. So you feel that nice opening through the clavicle, collarbone. You can roll the shoulders up one time, draw the shoulder blades back behind you. Crown is reaching, reaching, reaching. As the tailbone grounds down below. Breathing in and breathing out. And just taking these first few moments to connect in. Taking notice of any tension. Giving the body permission to relax and release. Unclench the jaw, tongue loose in the mouth, muscles of the face soft. And begin to consciously bring that breath all the way down to the low belly. You can bring your hand right below the navel, and breathing in, that belly bloats like a big balloon. And we exhale, navel to spine. Keep the shoulders and the chest nice and still. Try to just keep that breath in the lower chambers of the belly. Inhale, belly bloats like you're blowing up that balloon. And then exhale, navel to spine. Only about 10%. We don't want to suck it all the way in. And keep breathing like this for a few breaths. Really connecting with that expansion and extraction of the navel. That's a point of power. Although I also feel that for women especially, our pelvic area is really our point of power. But in the energetics of yoga, talking about the energy centers of the body, the navel is a point of power. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just a couple more cycles here. Conscious connection with breath. Keeping your hand on your body is a nice way to maintain even deeper connection. And on our last exhalation, you can bring your hand back onto the thigh and slowly open the eyes. And we're gonna start one of my favorite things to do, especially first thing in the morning when you wake up, is these torso rolls, or sometimes they're called Sufi rolls. So we're gonna roll to the right. I am sitting on a blanket. I didn't mention that. I like my blankets, I like my props, I have my bolster, I have my blocks. Not always necessary, but a good practice to have those supports. Just keep that sits bones grounded. Whether you're on a mat or on a blanket on a mat, you can make these as big or as small as you'd like, working into the creative centers of the body, into the hips. Breathing in and breathing out. And we're gonna come up with a nice tall spine. We're gonna go to the left and pretend like we're skimming our forehead across the floor in front of us. Making this a little bit bigger. Again, if that sits bone's popping up behind you, then you wanna take them a little bit smaller so that you're maintaining that connection with the earth. Staying grounded. We'll take a couple more rotations. And coming up to center. And we're gonna roll the shoulders forward. So I've been having some tension headaches, and this is a really great one to do for any type of tension in the head or the neck. You can make them, again, as big or as small as you'd like. When I have a really intense headache, I tend to go bigger, make it a little bit more dramatic, trying to release that tension. And we're gonna go backwards now, drawing the shoulder blades together back behind you, maybe going a little bit bigger this way. Nice deep breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. We're gonna take one more rotation and gently relax it down. And now we're gonna work a little bit into the neck. So if you have a lot of tension in the neck, just be really mindful. We don't ever wanna throw our head back wildly. We can really create some damage there. So just be really gentle when we get into the neck exercises. We're gonna draw the chin down to the chest. And then inhale up again, not throwing the head back, very gentle. Coming back down. Exhaling back. Inhaling down. We're gonna do this one more time. And then coming to center, we're gonna look to the right, come center, look to the left, come center, look to the right, come center, look to the left, come center, one more time, nice and gentle. I'm gonna come back to center, draw the chin to the chest, and we're gonna take half rolls. So the chin goes over to the right shoulder, through center, over to the left. Nice and gentle. Connect with that breath. Just a couple more times here. Sometimes it's a nice practice to close the eyes down and really go inward, but for some people, that can feel a little scary, create some anxiety. So if you want, close your eyes, otherwise you can keep them open. We're gonna come back to center, Gently lift that chin up. So another really good one to do for headaches and to release tension in the upper back and the shoulders and the neck area is our eagle arms. So we're gonna take our arms out to the side, cross right under left, draw the hands up. You're either gonna bring the back of the palms together or you're gonna take that double wrap and bring the palms together. We're gonna inhale the elbows up as high as you can, but the palms come away from the face. You don't need to watch the camera for this. Again, if you want to close the eyes down, maybe you lift the elbows up a little bit more, stretch the palms away from the face a little bit more. Really feel that deep stretch across the back. You might be carrying some tension in the neck here. The release is gonna come, so just try to breathe through any resistance. If you're feeling pain, certainly back out. But if you have a little bit of a pinch and uncomfortability, that's pretty typical with this posture. We're gonna open up the arms nice and wide. Pretend like the fingertips are touching back behind you. And then come back to center, left under right. Bring the arms up. Back of the palms can come together, or you come into that double wrap and the palms touch. Elbows up, palms away from the face. Working into the other side here. Notice if you're scrunching up the face muscles or clenching the teeth. Just let everything relax and hold that tension intentionally in the spaces that we're working into. And then we'll relish the release, right? So a lot of poses will build tension, build it, but then that sweet release feels oh so good. And then that fresh new vital energy can flood the cells. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe the elbows come up a little bit more, palms a little bit more away from the face. And then open up the arms, stretch those arms back like the fingertips are gonna touch. And then exhale it down. I like to take some shoulder rolls back behind me just to release that tension. Again, it's another one to do for neck tension, shoulder tension, and headaches, even migraines. We're gonna take our left fingertips and we're gonna tiptoe them out to the side. And I'm not great with mirroring as a teacher, so to you, it'll look like this is my right side, but I'm doing my left side. And the palm is gonna come down. I'm gonna zip my right arm up over my head, bend generously through that left elbow. My palm is very grounded. I'm gonna take my right hand to my left rib cage. I'm gonna self-adjust, turn my chest and heart to the ceiling, and the arm comes up over. Breathing in and breathing out, really ground that right sits bones down. Open up through the side body, working into the heart a little bit. Nice, gentle breathing. Some people can come down on the forearm. I'm able to, but I don't love it. I actually like the height. Your hand can also be on a block. I'm a big fan of props. We're gonna take the fingertips behind the head. We're gonna roll the shoulder back and we're gonna open up a little bit more. You're gonna go to your maximum here. As soon as you start to feel that pinching, you can stay there, but you don't wanna go beyond. Again, if you're feeling pain, back off. Take one more cycle of breath here. Extend the fingertips back over the head. And we're gonna switch sides. So you're gonna tiptoe the right fingertips out, ground the palm down, lift the left arm up and over. Take that left palm if you'd like and adjust yourself. Roll the right rib cage and the heart and chest to the ceiling. Bend through that elbow. Sometimes you might find that you need a little bit more space, so you can readjust that hand, grounding the palm down. reaching the fingertips up and over, softening that top shoulder as much as you can. Nice, gentle breathing. So there's this theory that when we open up through the side body, we open up to our joy. I don't know if it's true, but I certainly love the idea. Inhaling and exhaling, take the fingertips back behind you, roll the left elbow and shoulder back. Again, you might feel pinching. You don't want to go beyond that point. One more cycle of breath here. And then reach the fingertips back over and come back to center. And just take a moment, hands in the lap. Notice how you feel. You can close the eyes down. You can even take your eyes to the tip of your nose. For some people, that's very meditative and calming. You can play with it, see how it works for you. We're gonna come onto all fours. Again, I have a blanket for my knees. It's not, necessary. It's just something that I like to do. I don't always do it, but my right knee has been wonky, so I'm gonna baby it a little bit. You can curl the toes under here, or you could keep the feet flat. So your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in one straight line. You wanna look down to protect the back of the head and the neck. And your fingertips are spread wide, and you want to really firm through the palms, the shins, tops of the feet, or if those toes are curled under. And we're going to inhale, navel dips, tailbone rises. Press the heart forward, roll the shoulders back, look up gently. And then exhale, chin tucks, navel to spine, tailbone tucks. Really round through the back, press through the palms, shins, tops of the feet. And we're going to flow here. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. You can actually take these at your own pace. You don't necessarily have to follow me. I like to take these nice and slow. Breathing in and breathing out. This is a really good one to practice matching breath with movement because it's quite rhythmic. And so in yoga, it teaches us that you're only as young as your spine is flexible. And this is one of the most important things that you can do for spinal health in yoga is these cat-cows. We're going to take one more round. So wherever you are, you're going to take one more cow and one more cat. And we're going to come to a neutral spine. I'm taking my right foot and I'm just bringing it off to the side, grounding strongly through my right palm, extending my left leg out. I'm coming on the jackknife edge of the foot, and my left hand's on my left hip, and I'm reaching my fingertips up. You can look straight ahead, you can look down, or you can look up. We're going to lift the leg and flex deeply through that left foot. So think of your legs and your feet as your anchor, and your arms and your hands as your oars. And so that's how I tend to navigate balance and mobility. And so that deep flexion in this foot here, the left foot, so the toes are facing straight ahead. And you want to kind of feel that yang energy, that muscular energy in the legs here. We're going to bring the arm up overhead, and we're going to bring elbow towards knee. They can touch or not. And if you don't like this part, you can leave it and just stay in that static hold. We're going to do this one more time, just bringing the obliques into it a little bit. You'll already probably feel that glute and outer hip firing up. And we're going to hold here. And then you're going to take your left heel towards your booty and take your left hand. You're either going to pretend like you're taking a hold or grab onto the top of the foot or the ankle. And you're going to open up through the chest and the heart here and press the hand and foot in opposition. You don't want your foot higher than your booty. So the ankle is literally in line with your hip. Breathing in and breathing out. If looking up isn't conducive for you, you can look down or you can look straight ahead. I really love this one for so many reasons. This is a beautiful stretch to do in the morning too, to wake up the body. We're going to lengthen back out. And we're gonna come back down to all fours. We're gonna take 3 cat-cows here. So inhaling cow, exhaling cat. Don't forget your alignment. Inhale cow, exhale cat. And taking one more cycle at your own pace. And then when you're finished, you're gonna meet me in a neutral spine. And I'm gonna turn around this way. And we're gonna take that on the left side. So we're gonna take our left foot off to the side, ground generously through the left palm, extend the right leg out, jackknife edge of the foot to the earth, right hand on the right hip, reach the fingertips up, be mindful of your neck, lift that leg up, deep flexion through that heel. And you want that muscular energy in the leg. We're gonna bring the arm up overhead and really reach the heel and the fingertips in opposition and stretch that left shoulder away from the left ear. Feel nice and long here. And then exhale, elbow to knee and lengthen. We're gonna do that 2 more times and lengthen. 1 more time and lengthen. We're gonna hold. You can stay here or try to get that heel back behind you. Even if you're pretending like you're touching and you're not taking a hold of the ankle or foot, you're still doing the pose. So if you can take a hold, go for it. Remember to keep that ankle in alignment with the hip. Turn the rib cage and heart a little bit more to the ceiling if you can. Press the hand away from the foot. Feel that beautiful stretch. You're gonna feel this through the thigh, the hip. Beautiful heart opener, opens up through the shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. Take 1 more full cycle of breath here. And then releasing, coming back to all fours, taking our 3 cat-cows, inhaling for cow and exhaling cat. And we'll do that 2 more times, connecting breath with movement. Last one, coming back to all fours. And we're gonna come into a wide knee child's pose. I'm gonna move my blanket off to the side so the big toes are gonna touch, knees come out nice and wide. You can use a blanket for this if your knees go wider than the mat and you want extra cushion. We're gonna fall forward and we're gonna bring our palms up to soften through the shoulders. And if you don't like how that feels and it doesn't make sense for you, then you can just draw the palms down flat. Nice deep inhales and exhales here, breathing in and breathing out. That third eye resting on the mat. Maybe taking your focus in that space between the brow. Breathing in and breathing out. Soften where you can. This is your moment to truly let everything go. And we're going to take 1 more cycle of breath. And sliding your palms under the shoulders, bringing your knees together. You're gonna take, sorry, my nose is so itchy. South Carolina air in the summer, I'm still adjusting. 2 fists together in between the knees, and then you're gonna come up. So I maintained that space as I was coming up. If you feel like you shifted, you can bring your 2 fists back down. We're gonna keep the toes curled under. We're gonna come into camel, one of my favorite poses. I like to do it this way, but I'm gonna show you 2 different ways to do this. I make fists, thumbs are on the outside. I bring them into the small of my back, the low back. That doesn't make sense for you. You can plant the palms down on the back and the fingertips facing towards your pelvis and your heels. So if you're making those fists, just have the thumbs on the outside. We're going to press our pelvis forward as if we're pressing against a wall in front of us. The navel's gonna dip up towards the ceiling. As we do that, we start to squeeze our shoulders and shoulder blades back behind us. We're not throwing the head back. As a matter of fact, for some people, looking straight ahead is enough for them. This works deep into the thyroid and the parathyroid. You might start to feel a heat flush as you bring your head back very gently. Maybe you even get the breath up into the throat. Breathing in, breathing out. We're gonna inhale up, flatten the feet, fingertips go to the earth, chin to the chest. You might be feeling a lot through the back of the neck as well. I'm gonna keep my feet flat. You can curl the toes still, again, if you'd like. And again, you're gonna take whatever hand placement feels right for you. We're gonna do 2 more. Pressing the pelvis forward as if a wall is in front of you. Navel dips towards the ceiling. Gently bring the head back or look forward. And breathe. One more cycle of breath. And on an exhalation, fingertips dip to the earth, chin to the chest. Now we're gonna do a little bit more of an advanced version, but you have those 2 variations. So if you need the height, curl the toes under, especially for this one. So we're gonna try to get our fingertips to touch our heels. So we're gonna start with our first hand position, either the fist with thumbs on the outside or the palms facing down, fingertips facing down. Press the pelvis forward. Start to come into your pose, and if you're feeling a little bold, maybe those fingertips touch back. Really press the pelvis forward. Open up through the heart here. Such a beautiful pose. Great for hormone balance, heart health, spinal health, metabolism, because we're working into the thyroid, and this time we're gonna keep our booty high, feet flat or toes curled under, one fist on top of the other, and the forehead comes down. And we let all of that go. So like I said before, if you felt an intense heat flush, if you felt any type of tension in the neck, be mindful of that. A lot of that can be common, especially if this is your first time doing camel. We're gonna lift our head up and we're gonna come onto our forearms. I love Sphinx Pose. I love belly work in general. So my feet are about mat distance apart. I'm on my forearms and elbows are underneath my shoulders. I'm generously pressing the pelvis down, and I'm gonna connect with my navel here. Now in yin, in this pose, you can bring chin to chest. If that feels really good for you and you prefer to do that, definitely go into a more yin posture. You can look straight ahead or just gently look up. Again, no throwing of the head back. Shoulders roll back, we're pressing our heart forward. Energetically, pretend like you're dragging your elbows towards the tops of your feet. You can always have a blanket under the pelvis here, and if you want to work deeper into the digestive channels, you can actually roll a blanket up and put it on the belly, and then stay in the pose that way and work a little bit deeper into the tummy. If you want to join me, you're going to stretch your fingertips out to the side, thumbs forward, lift up into seal pose. Legs can come a little bit wider. So we want to really release the booty in Sphinx and in seal because it can create a lot of crunchiness and tension unnecessarily in the low back. So try to keep your booty soft and relaxed. If this is too much for you, go back into Sphinx Pose. Again, that pelvis is connected to the mat. One more full cycle of breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then gently come down. And we're going to bring one palm on top of the other, forehead on top of the palms, big toes together, heels flop out, just creating that circuit of energy throughout the body and letting that go. Taking a moment to connect with the expansion and contraction of the navel against the mat, softening through the shoulders. Notice where you're holding tension. Give your body permission to release. You're going to point the toes back behind you, palms come under the shoulders, and you're going to help yourself up. Now we're going to come into a supported bridge pose, or you can do this on your own. I like a soft block for this. So when we lie down, the goal is to get your heels as close to the booty as possible. So you might even be able to take your fingertips and touch your heels. That's absolutely not a requirement of the pose. So try not to stress yourself out. Now, so this is baby bear, mama bear, papa bear. That's how I do my sizes on my block. And when I lift up, if you don't have a block, you're just gonna hold. So I like to start with my elbows at my sides and my fingertips up and really use my pelvis to help me get up. So we're gonna start to lift. All four corners of the feet stay grounded, back of the head is heavy. And we have that pelvic lift. Now, if you wanna bring the palms down and use the leverage of the palms, bring those shoulders underneath you a little bit more and keep lifting. You're gonna either stay here or take your block on baby bear or mama bear and put it underneath you where it's comfortable. So the block is doing all of the work. So you'll know your sweet spot because you should be very comfortable and relaxed, and then let go here. You can even, for some people, straightening the legs is very comfortable here. Again, you don't have to do that. This is not for everybody. Having the feet flat is totally fine. And just soften. Some people like to bring their arms up overhead. You can either clasp either elbow and make a picture frame around your head. Nice, deep breathing. It's one of my favorite things to do when during my moon time, during my cycle. It's very relaxing and nurturing and nourishing to the pelvic bowl. So I highly recommend this during menstruation, or if you carry a lot of tension in that area. Breathing in, breathing out. You can change the clasp of the elbows. You can even have your hands on your belly. Sometimes I put one hand on my heart and one hand on my belly. Maybe we'll end with that. It's a really nice practice to at least once a day sit with a hand on your heart and your belly. It's just so deeply connecting to your inner wisdom, to your own divinity. Just a way to extend yourself grace and compassion. So wherever you are, if you want to join me, I'm putting my right hand on my heart, left hand on my belly. And I forgot to mention, you don't ever want to rock your head from side to side when you're in bridge pose. Just a couple more breaths here. Thanking your body for all that it does. If you have a block under you and it's on mama bear height, bring it down to baby bear height and adjust that so you're comfortable. It should be right above the tailbone. And then if you're not on a block, we're all going to do this together. We're going to come into waterfall. This with the block is supported waterfall. In restorative, it's known as legs up the wall, one of my favorite poses. So you're going to curl your toes toward your body and just hold here if you want to take some space between the feet. Really bring that navel about 10% towards the spine. If you want your fingertips to reach up to the ceiling. So we sit and stand all day. This drains the blood in opposition. Really great for hormone balance, digestion, but it's deeply relaxing and nurturing to the body. One of my favorite things to do, especially against the wall. Breathing in and breathing out. You can even bring the arms up overhead, but that definitely works the core a little bit more. If you want to roll out the ankles, you can roll out the ankles. And then hug the knees into the chest, even if you're on that block. Drop the feet down, remove the block, and we're going to end with our supine twist. So we're going to hug the knees in, maybe even bringing that forehead towards the knees. You can clasp the hands and just soften the shoulders, connecting the heart and the mind here for a moment. Deep flexion in the feet. And then exhaling down. So you have two options. You can keep the knees stacked like this, or you can cross one knee over the other. We're going to start with the right knee over the left, or knee stacked and dropping over to the left. I like to cross my legs. You can even do eagle legs if you'd like. If you want a blanket underneath your knees, that's an option as well. You're going to come over to the left, the right arm out to the side, flip the palm, look over the right shoulder. And I like to keep my left hand on my body. You can even keep it on that top thigh. One of my favorite poses to do. I usually end all of my yoga classes with a supine twist. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to take one more cycle of breath. Use the leverage of the palms. So you can bring the arms out in a T, leverage through the palms so they're flipped down. Use your core, come back to center, and either stacking the knees or crossing left knee over right. You can come into those eagle legs if you'd like. We're going to come over to the right. This time you're going to look over the left shoulder, flip the left palm up. And again, I like my right hand on my thigh, or sometimes I put it on my belly, or even my heart. Breathing in and breathing out. I forgot to mention on the opposite side, for a lot of people that shoulder stays high in the air, so you can just tuck a blanket underneath it. So that way you're able to get the maximum benefits of the pose and you're not struggling through to find a comfortable place. This is great for spinal health, digestion. Eagle legs are really good. They work through the kidney and spleen meridians, gallbladder. breathing in and breathing out. We're going to take one more cycle of breath. On your last exhalation, arms out to a T, palms down, use your core, come through center. You're going to prepare for Shavasana, so that left leg goes out to the left outer edge of the mat, right leg out to the right outer edge of the mat. Arms at the sides, but not touching. Head is heavy, palms open in a gesture of reception. And just begin to relax. Let the back body be heavy and the front body open, light, expansive, receptive. Deep relaxation. Just rest for these last few moments together and be at peace. Slowly bringing your awareness back into your physical space, deepening the breath, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling out wrists and ankles, gentle rock of the head from side to side. Legs together, arms up overhead, full body on, stretch, stretch, stretch. And bring the knees into the chest and roll over to the right side. Take a moment to thank yourself for giving yourself the gift of yoga, showing up and doing the work, remembering that yoga is not a workout, but a work in. And we're gonna come up to a seated posture. Bringing our hands to our heart if you're comfortable doing so. So namaste just means that the light in me bows and honors the light in you. Thank you so much for sharing my first YouTube yoga practice with me. Namaste.